Hello, welcome to this YouTube channel. If you're just joining us, don't forget to click the subscribe button and also the notification bell so you get notified each time a video drops on this page. And also don't forget to check out our previous videos on comparative anatomy of vertebrates and also our videos on surface anatomy. We also have microscopy videos on microscopy. Don't forget to check those videos as well. Today we'll be looking at the surface anatomy of the lower limb. Let's get right into it. So the skin of the thigh, especially in the hollow of the groin and on the medial side, is thin, smooth and elastic and contains few hairs except on the neighborhood of the pubis. The skin over the buttocks is fairly thick and is characterized by its low sensibility and slight vascularity. Still on the skin over the front of the knee is covered by thickened epidermis. It is loose and thrown into transverse wrinkles when the leg is extended. The skin of the leg is thin, especially on the medial side, and is covered with numerous large hairs. On the dorsum of the foot, the skin is thin, loosely connected to subjacent parts, and contains few hairs on the plantar surface, and especially over the heel. The epidermis is of great thickness, and here, as in the palm of the hand, there are neither hairs nor sebaceous glands. The junction of the skin of the thigh with that on the front of the abdomen is marked by a well-defined furrow which indicates the site of the inguinal ligament. The furrow presents a general convexity downward. An almost transverse fold, the gluteal fold, crosses the lower part of the buttocks. It practically bisects the lower margin of the gluteus maximus and most evident during extension of the hip joint. In front, the anterior superior iliac spine is easily recognized and in thin subjects stand out as a prominence at the lateral end of the fold of the groin. In fat subjects, its position is indicated by an oblique depression at the bottom of which the bony process can be felt. The iliac crest can be traced to the posterior superior iliac spine, the site of which is indicated by a slight depression on the outer lip of the crest, about 5 cm. Behind the anterior superior spine is the prominent iliac tubercle. In obese subjects, it is obscured by the pubic fat, and it can however be detected by following up the tendon of the origin of the adductor longus. The ischial tuberosity is situated beneath the gluteus maximus, and when the hip is flexed, it is easily felt as it is then uncovered by muscle. Now we're talking about the femur. As I said, the accessible parts of the femur are the lateral surface of the greater truncata and the lower expanded end of the bone. The site of the greater truncata is generally indicated by a depression owing to the thickness of the gluteus medius and minimus. The lateral condyle is more easily felt than the medial. Both epicondyles can be readily identified, and at the upper part of the medial condyle, the sharp adductor tubercle can be recognized without difficulty. So this is the diagram. This diagram showing the femur. You can see the gluteus maximus muscle. You see all what I've been talking about in the previous slide are portrayed in this picture. Now the knee, when the knee is flexed, a portion of the patellar surface is uncovered and is palpable. The anterior surface of the patella is subcutaneous, and a considerable portion of the tibia is subcutaneous as well. At the upper end, the condyles can be felt just below the knee. The medial condyle is broad and smooth, and it merges into the subcutaneous surface of the body below. The lateral is narrower and more prominent, and on it, about midway between the apex of the patella and the head of the fibula, is the tubercle for the attachment of the iliotibial band. This picture also depicts what I've said in the previous slide. In front of the upper head of the bone, between the condyles, is an oval eminence, the tuberosity, which is continuous below with the anterior crest of the bone. Then the only subcutaneous parts of the fibula are the head, the lower part of the body, and the lateral malleolus. And the head lies behind the lateral to the lateral condyle of the tibia and presents as a small prominent pyramidal eminence slightly above the level of the tibia tuberosity. Its position can be readily located by following downward the tendon of biceps femoris. Then the lateral malleolus is a narrow elongated prominence from which the lower third or half of the lateral surface of the body of the bone can be traced upward. The whole dorsal surface of the foot, talking about the foot, the whole dorsal surface of the foot has a smooth convex outline, the summit of which is the ridge formed by the head of the talus, the navicular, the second cuneiform, and the second metatarsal bone. From this, it inclines gradually lateralward and rapidly medialward. Then on the medial side of the foot, the medial process of the tuberosity of the calcaneus and the ridge separating the posterior from the medial surface of the bone are distinguishable. Then the ridge formed by the base of the first metatarsal bone can be obscurely felt, and from this the body of the bone can be traced to the expanded head beneath the base of the first phalanx is the medial sesamoid bone. Then on the lateral side of the foot, the most posterior bony point is the lateral process of the tuberosity of the calcaneus, with the ridge separating the posterior from the lateral surface of the foot. Then the base of the fifth metatarsal bone is prominent, and from it, the body and the expanded head can be traced. Okay, the dorsal surface of the metatarsal bones, they are easily defined. Although their heads do not form prominences, the plantar surfaces are obscured by muscles. The phalanges in their whole extent are readily palpable. The ankle joints can be felt on either side of the extensor tendons, and during extension of the joint, the superior articular surface of the talus presents below the anterior border of the lower end of the tibia. The hip joint is deeply seated and cannot be palpated. The tensor fasciae latae produces a broad elevation immediately below the anterior part of the iliac crest and behind the anterior superior iliac spine. From its lower border, a groove caused by the iliotibial band extends downward to the lateral side of the knee joint. The upper portion of sartorius constitutes the lateral boundary of the femoral triangle. Now, the gluteus maximus forms the full rounded outline of the gluteus. It is more prominent behind, compressed in front, and ends at its tendinous insertion in a depression immediately behind the greater truncata. Its lower border crosses the gluteal fold obliquely downward and lateralward. Then the upper is part of gluteus medius visible. From beneath the lower margin of gluteus maximus, the hamstrings appear. At first, they are narrow and not well defined, but as they descend, they become more prominent and eventually divide into two well-marked ridges formed by their tendons. These constitute the upper boundaries of the popliteal fossa. Okay, so the tendon of biceps femoris is a thick cord running to the head of the fibula. The tendons of the semimembranosus and semitendinosus, as they run medially to the tibia, they are separated by a slight furrow. The semitendinosus is the more medial and can be felt in certain positions of the limb as a sharp cord, while the semimembranosus is thick and rounded. The gracilis is situated a little in front of them. The tibialis anterior presents a fusiform enlargement at the lateral side of the tibia and projects beyond the anterior crest of the bone. Then, on the dorsum of the foot, the tendons emerging from beneath the transverse and cruciate crural ligaments spread out and can be distinguished as follows. The most medial and largest is the tibialis anterior. The next is the extensor hallucis proprius. Extensor digitorum longus, divided into four tendons to the second, third, fourth, and fifth toes, and lastly the peroneus tertius. The extensor digitorum brevis produces a rounded outline of the dorsum of the foot and a fullness in front of the lateral malleolus. The interosside dorsalis bulge between the metatarsal bones. At the back of the knee is the popliteal fossa, bounded by the tendons of the hamstrings, and below by the gastrocnemius. Below this fossa is the prominent fleshy mass of the calf of the leg, produced by the gastrocnemius and the soleus. Behind the medial border of the lower part of the tibia, a well-defined ridge is produced by the tendon of tibialis posterior during contraction of the muscles. This diagram explains all I've said in the previous slide. On the sole of the foot, the abductor digital quanti forms a narrow rounded elevation on the lateral side, and the abductor hallucis a lesser elevation on the medial side. Now, what are the arteries of the lower limb? We have the femoral artery. As it crosses the brim of the pelvis, is readily felt. In its course down the thigh, its pulsation becomes gradually more difficult of recognition. When the knee is flexed, the pulsation of the popliteal artery can easily be detected in the popliteal fossa. On the lower parts of the tibia, the anterior tibial artery becomes superficial and can be traced over the ankle into the dorsalis pedis. The nerves. The only nerve of the lower extremity which can be located by palpation is the common peroneal, and it winds around the lateral side of the neck of the fibula. This diagram gives a detailed illustration of everything I've said as regarding the surface anatomy of the lower limb. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like and share our videos as well. Hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.